Ladies, gentlemen, and as usual, those genders without those kind of endearment terms, welcome back to episode 14 of the ExtraCasual podcast with your hosts, Gavin
and Ashton.
And today we have some pretty interesting topics, such as a Magic the Gathering player ruining $21,000 worth of cards. How? Well, you're going to have to figure it out. Elon Musk, on what he says about him capping tweets. Why? Who knows? Actually, we know, but more on that later. A personal dream segment, along with me talking about my experiences with the Devil May Cry collection.
It's got a double.
It's going to be a very me-centric episode. It's kind of been like that for a while.
Gavin episode.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll get some segments that are focused on Ashton. Just might take a little bit.
Yep.
A Guitar Hero player perfecting a translation, I suppose, of the worst YouTube apology ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want the full context, you're gonna have to listen all the way through.
You better listen.
Yeah.
You clicked, you can listen to it.
Yeah. Let's see. And here's for the big one. Magic the Gathering player ruins $21,000 worth of cards by laminating them.
Okay. I already have a question.
Alright, shoot.
Okay. Did you read this article by chance?
Nope.
Okay. I think there's two possibilities that could be why he ruined the collection. Number one would be he laminated them, destroying the value of the cards, but he can still play them in a tournament. Or
that's usually how it goes.
I
mean, that's usually how it goes. Like, it doesn't matter if they're... From what I remember hearing from a friend, it doesn't matter if they're, laminated or in, little, covers, I suppose, to keep, dust off them and keep them in better condition.
Yeah,
as long as that they're A, in the same, cut pockets, and B, I guess just A in the situation. Can't really think of a B.
But my second theory was he laminated the cards and now he can't play them in tournament. But from what Gavin just said, that's kind of out of the books.
Yeah. Let's see. Magic the Gathering has been around for quite a while. Meaning there's a bevy of rare cards out there that will net anyone who kept their old collection in pristine condition an awful lot of money. However, there's no controlling what you might have done to your cards when you were a child. So possibly that you may have accidentally done something very silly on a whim back in the day, only to find out a horrible mistake you made years later. That priceless art of accidentally defacing something extremely valuable.
I think I've probably done that to a couple rare Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
Just poorly mistreated them or given them to somebody that ends up ruining them.
Yeah, or giving them to someone that you don't know would actually have great value.
Speaking of ruining cards real quick, for example, or what I was just talking about, I had a binder full of legendary cards and an old promo, I'm pretty sure it was called Pokemon Island, that it had special cards in a special binder. I gave it to them, and they stored it in their room. Do you want to know where they stored it, Kevin?
By the heater?
Yep, by a vent. And all the cards got warped. And they were literally Ancient Muse. There was so back in the old days of Pokemon cards, so do you remember the three, sorry to tangent so hard, but I'll end it quickly. Do you remember the 3 cloud Pokemon legendaries?
Yeah, I remember them.
Thunderous and whatever?
Yeah,
so
Thunderous and Tornadorous?
Something like that. But basically, there's a special promo of all of them where once you put them all side by side, they all match. One's facing in the middle, one's on the left, one's on the right.
Oh, it's like a panoramic kind of thing.
Yeah, I had sets like that in there, and those got warped.
Damn.
I'm so salty because they were super cool.
Yeah, and I bet they're worth a lot of cash now too. At least they would have been.
Well, I literally I didn't even play with them. I just put them immediately into the binder as soon as I saw them. Those cards.
Back when I used to collect Pokemon cards, I never played them the actual way or whatever. I just kind of liked them because more something is good I don't know. And this was also back like in 3rd grade when Pokemon cards were like the thing.
Yeah, child collecting habits.
Yeah. Eventually, I actually got into Magic the Gathering myself, and I think my most expensive card is the $62 one.
Is that one of those? Is that one of those special ones where like the value will never change?
I don't know. I think what it is just a really good competitive card.
Oh, better sell it while it's in the meta.
The thing is that it's really powerful. Like, I think depending on like how many creatures you have on the board, and like you have on the board, you get like specific benefits or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah, I haven't looked at them in a long time, and I've actually probably been thinking of just straight up selling them to a friend of mine who's been basically in love with the Magic series.
Yeah, you might as well
giving him a reasonable price.
You might as well give it to somebody that's still enjoying that, instead of just having the cards sit around, I guess.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe for my entire collection, like $150, only because A, I don't know how many other valuable cards I have, and B, out of the cards that I do know are valuable, like, it'd probably be $120, and I just want to make a little bit of profit.
Yeah. I guess just try to, like, do a skim of the cards, I guess.
Yeah. Although, interesting fact, once I let slip in front of my sister when I was talking with my mom that I played Magic, and she had the exact same reaction of when I told her I played Dungeons and Dragons. And I quote, "I'm gonna end up living in my mom's basement for the rest of my life."
It's like the old Dungeons and Dragons scare, like the Satanic Panic.
I mean, the Satanic Panic's been. I mean, it wasn't just for Dungeons and Dragons. It's for like
rock.
Old school rock when that was there. I think we've actually been over this before, but like metal, like Metallica and AC/DC, those guys were under scrutiny.
Yeah.
Like even back then, video games were under pretty heavy scrutiny.
Like there's games like the devil worshipping game called Doom.
Yeah, I remember seeing his statements like, when this guy was a kid, his mom wouldn't allow him to buy Doom or play Doom because she thought it was demonic. And he told her and said, it's not demonic. You kill demons. And then she bought it for him.
That's a pretty good way to sell it.
I mean, he wasn't even lying. That's literally just basically the crux of the game. You murder demons.
Just say that they were like sent by like God to kill the demons or something.
Yeah.
It's only for religious intent.
Yeah. I mean, the joke is that Doom is the most holy video game of all time, or something like that. or no, it's the most Christian video game of all time.
Oh, I've heard that. I was gonna say I haven't heard the other one, but I've heard that one definitely.
Yeah. Anyway,
back on track.
In steps, user / mob namikaze, a Magic the Gathering fan who recently shared their local shop owner's grave mistake with the Magic the Gathering trading card game subreddit. In posts made earlier this week, user Mob Namikaze shared an image of selection of old Magic the Gathering cards placed in some sort of display shop. To the naked eye, doesn't look bad. The experienced players would immediately spot the value of these cards pretty high, as they're all landing cards currently on the Magic the Gathering reserved list.
That's the list I was talking about.
Must be some pretty nice land cards.
I'm assuming you know what the reserve list is, Gavin?
Not really.
So basically the reserve list is old Magic the Gathering cards that are like, that they said themselves they're never gonna reprint again. So they have a definite value to them. But there is one caveat. For, I'm pretty sure their 30th anniversary, they reprinted the reserve list. But they can't be used in competition play or any play at all. So they're basically show cards. But another kick in the balls is to buy the packs. It's like $1,000+ for like 6 packs.
Yeah.
So you're guaranteed you're wasting money. Because there's no value to the cards because they're not classified as reserved.
Yeah, not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Must be, anyway, like I said, must be some pretty good land cards.
Yeah, they're just like classics.
Yeah, I have a pretty good looking forest card. It looks really cool. Anyway, this essentially means that these cards will never be reprinted, and at the time of writing, they're worth...
I literally just...
Yeah. Okay, just in the stuff in the middle, we can see there are 4 tropical cards, 5 volcano islands, 6 underground seas, and 4 taigas, which roughly add up to $2,100 or $21,000. Unfortunately, the cards the picture show are below are nowhere near the worth. The owner laminated them when they were younger. Oh no!
Wait, so just these cards alone are worth that amount?
I mean, I guess they're vintage cards.
Wow.
And I'm talking vintage.
So he laminated them when he was younger, and then he put them in his shop to sell them.
I mean, he probably wants to keep their condition, but I guess lo and behold, laminating them completely tanked their value. Which I don't really get. Actually, it says right down here. For those that don't know, laminating cards in pretty much any TCG is a big no-no. Not only does it drastically reduce the card's value, as the lamination process could potentially damage the card or smudge the ink, it also means it's incredibly tricky to use them in tournaments too. Much easier for someone to mark a laminated card to give themselves an unfair advantage, but you should never laminate your cards. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. When, like, if you want to put them in sleeves, they have to be like the exact same color, or else you could be like accused of cheating.
Yeah, because then you could like learn a pattern off of it or something.
Yeah, shuffle the ones with the blue sleeves and have them like around this area. Then ones with like the yellow sleeves be around this area.
That could easily be taken advantage of.
I mean that's probably why why it's banned.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nobody had told this poor store owner not to do that when he was younger, and they have doubled down on their mistake by laminating some of the most valuable Magic the Gathering cards out there at the moment. To drive home the tragedy of the entire situation, you can see a little plaque next to this display begging those to see this not to make the same mistake as they did. Along with the evaluation of the non-laminated versions of the cards, which just reads a lot, if only we turn back time. Yeah. What do you think?
At least they put on a warning.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like I said, I think sleeves are fine because A, it's not lamination, and B, it's basically a safer way to keep your cards in good condition.
Yeah.
Alright. Now it's a question. Like, aside from your Pokemon card binder, which I'm pretty sure could have been worth like a small fortune easily, what do you think you might have accidentally gotten rid of that could be super valuable today?
Oh, I know a perfect example.
Alright.
I want to say in 2016, 2015, I sold Pokemon Ruby for like $20, not even $20, and now that game goes for like 120, like the actual copies of them.
Yeah, because,
which I guess is not like a big difference, but like, I wish I never even sold the game to begin with.
Yeah. Let's see. For me, I honestly don't really know. Like, if I accidentally got rid of something that turns out is worth a lot.
Hey, at least you don't know, because then you don't have the guilt of it.
This is the one of the few situations that it's better to live in bliss. Blissful ignorance, I should say.
Yeah.
And then the article right under it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, now let's move on to... Now time to move on to the next topic. Would you take the lead?
Yep, this one's mine, and it is Elon Musk says he's temporarily capping how many tweets you can read. What we know. From when I originally heard this, people were like super mad because there is like people... If you think like TikTok is bad for some people, it's even worse for some people with Twitter. Like, they're just, like, hooked up.
Yeah, same brain rot, different platform.
Yeah.
Well, from what we know, at least from what we've heard, the reason why this capping is happening is because Elon wants to try to limit, like, data. What was the term? I forget.
I'm pretty sure it's just, like, bots.
Data scraping, it says right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. and I assume bots. But
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like the amount of pushback that this got is almost alarming, because that's how those people, like, they only exist on Twitter.
What he's probably gonna do, I bet you it's gonna say it in the article, is he's probably gonna cap it to like there's a certain limit for people that are using it for free, and then if you pay for their subscription or like Twitter Blue or whatever, then they have like unlimited scroll or like even just double.
I mean, that's what they're kind of doing right now. So from the video I remember watching, it was one of Charlie's. It was like for like basically like brand new as in like probably a few months old accounts. It's like you only get to see like 300, and then he upped it to like 500 of it, like in time. For like for newer accounts, it was like 600, which I think got moved up to 1,000, and for like Twitter Blue users, it's like tenfold of what it was originally. So
Yeah, like
at least like the older accounts.
from my own experience trying to like have our own like podcast Twitter, there I haven't really told Gavin about this, but there are so many bots and like stuff that looks legit and it isn't legit. Like it's really annoying. Like just because I think the only reason that we're getting bots is because it's a new account. Like it was an account this year. So I'm getting like OnlyFans spam and like people like messaging me asking me for like, hey, we'll boost your show if you pay this certain amount of money, and like it's all just like bot spam, and it's really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing you can really do is ignore it, block it, remove it. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sounds about right.
but then like even in one of our own tweets, I tweeted something, and then under the tweet it was like a show like trying to like promote itself off of our show.
Yeah, definitely a bot.
Yeah, and it's like, here's a funny podcast like comic panel, and try to put your favorite words into the comic panel's blanks or something like that. And it was just really dumb.
Yeah. Well, say what you want, but everyone knows that bots, they don't discriminate.
Yeah, bots are inevitable. They're like never ending, from video games to like social media platforms. They're everywhere.
Mm-hmm. It's like one of the. And at this point, it might as well be like one of the guarantees in life. Instead of just death and taxes, it's now death, taxes, and bots.
Yeah. Once the baby gets born, it has to do a CAPTCHA to verify that it's human.
Dude, that'd be tragic, but also be really funny.
That's like very dystopic.
Yeah.
Prove
I
you're
mean,
human.
I think a lot of things are like dystopic, like especially like nowadays. I mean, just like take an average look at like world news. War in Eastern Europe. Western governments are having panic attacks over like very unusual things. France is up in flames, I think.
Yeah, at one point it was. It probably still is. But
Yeah.
I have a theory on like news in the future.
What?
Like news is gonna have to switch to short form content because like our generation, I have a feeling, I wanna say like at most I'd probably say like 10% of our generation is gonna actually use the news. Like
Yeah.
once we're old, no one after us is going to be using like news that much, I don't think. Like traditional news, like Fox and
Fox. Yeah.
It's all going to be
CNN.
short form, I think.
And probably, I mean, TikTok, like that's like one of the big reasons, that retention span's going down the drain.
Funny enough, though. Sorry, I gotta jump in here quickly.
It's alright.
So, I saw a thing where on TikTok, the most followed news source or whatever for like each platform, the one on TikTok isn't a major news corporation. It's actually just some guy in I'm pretty sure he has like a little group of people, but he does like really good like news stuff that is actually like news that we want to hear and like direct to the point, like under a minute basically of like news and information that you can go look up yourself. And it's just really cool because all the other platforms, like the highest following news feeds, are all like corporate stuff.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, the two biggest news sites, CNN and Fox, are both like basically having their dicks sucked by one of the ends of the political spectrum. You know, far right or far left.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the L article.
I'm gonna kind of skim read it because I think we did a pretty good job at talking about it. So, Twitter owner Elon Musk on Saturday announced temporary limits on the number of tweets users are able to read, an announcement that comes amid reports of users having difficulty accessing or assessing the site. So is there like so many people on the site that they can't even like use it?
It's like back when Overwatch 2 came out. People were like waiting like hours just to get into a game. I mean, apparently there was some DDoSing going on, but that's not an excuse.
Or like, are like all the Twitter fiends like going on at once trying to get their daily like tweets read in before they run out or something?
Yeah, inject it into their veins like it's something.
They're probably like taking screenshots and like looking back on them later because they can't open Twitter.
Yeah, just absolutely like, hypnotized.
Oh,
because they just need it.
That's funny, but that people are probably doing that.
I mean, like I said, some people, they only exist on Twitter.
Like
Twitter
we have our podcast and other things that we do, whereas some people only have Twitter and that's their personality.
Uh-huh. I remember it was described a long time ago that Twitter's kind of supposed to be like the new town square. Like, if you think back in like the oldie times. Like, you know, Twitter has its like various, I guess, sectors depending on how far you want to go. You know, you got the gamers and like the, you know, just the celebrities just doing stuff, the shit posters, the fucking conspiracy theorists that will slurp up everything conspiracy related because they want to feel smart.
Yeah.
No matter how stupid it might be.
Yeah. Speaking of this is extremely off topic, but Instagram is actually starting their own like Twitter-based thing inside of Instagram.
Oh, yeah. It's called Threads, ain't it?
I'm pretty sure. Another thing I think is I'm pretty sure Elon is trying to sue them or something for like taking his idea or something like that.
Yeah. Although apparently, from what I've heard, Twitter was originally formed from like just a bunch of online chat, like chat logs or whatever.
I don't know that much about that.
That's just something I remember hearing. It could be wrong, could be right. I don't really know.
That's what I have to say, allegedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
We are not legally bound to anything that we say at all during any episode of the podcast. We are covered for the rest of our lives.
Unless we know it to be absolute fact.
Yep. Okay.
At that point, then it's fair game.
Yep. Okay, so Musk, who bought Twitter for $44 billion last October, that's probably the biggest mistake of his life.
Probably.
He even tried to pull out and then like pulled him back in with like threatening to sue him or something.
How can you say? I'm still not even sure how that would have worked. So you're suing that guy that wanted to buy your company, but then he saw too many like risks and discrepancies.
He saw too many red flags and backed out.
Yeah. How does that work?
And wasn't his payout number like 420.69 or something like that too? Like it was just a joke.
No, you're thinking of something else. It could be the price of one of his Tesla models, which is $69,420.
Oh.
But that's neither here or there, at least for right now.
Okay. Took the company private. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he privatized it. No more stocks.
Said in a tweet, to address extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, we've applied the following temporary limits. Verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 posts a day, while unverified accounts are limited to 600 per day. Musk tweets said about 1 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday, new unverified accounts will have an even lower limit of 300, he said. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
About 2 hours later, he tweeted rates increasing soon to 8,000 for verified, 800 for unverified, and 400 for new unverified.
Mm-hmm.
Musk added that in a suspected trolling comment about all the commotion on Twitter, rate limited due to reading all the posts about rate limits. I guess that would happen. I lost half my tweets because I was reading tweets about rate limits.
You bastard.
Oh, that reminds me of a tweet that I saw. So, do you know Muda? Ordinary Gamer?
Some ordinary gamer.
He tweeted out, he was like, -1 tweet left or something like that.
That's pretty good.
He's doing some trolling.
Man's a mad lad, and I have to respect it.
Yeah. Okay. Then, less than an hour later, Musk sent a subsequent tweet increasing the limit to 10,000 for verified, 1,000 for unverified, and 500 for new unverified users. He literally, increased it twice now.
Yep, by 100 each.
What I think they should do is just have it based off of, fluctuation. What they could do is, classify each, user into their own, categories, you know? So then they could, group all the bots into one category that are, speed scrolling and, there has to be a way that they can detect which ones are bots.
Probably.
And then just put them in their own category and, limit them to, 300 tweets a day or something.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, I remember hearing that you need, a driver's license or something to sign up now.
Really?
Well, that's what I heard. Like I said, I don't actually know. Could be something a lot different than I heard.
That might be for Twitter Blue, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's it. Actually, yeah, that is it.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's unclear how the site was calculating what counted as a tweet read. Also unclear when the temporary limits, which were still in effect about 9 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday, would be lifted. US Today reached out to Twitter for clarification and received an automated message of a poop emoji, as it is standard for the company.
I can respect a little troll from Elon.
What did they get, the Nintendo Kotaku treatment here?
Just blacklisted?
Yeah, they just get a poop emoji. Twitter shit list.
Dear God. Now, I think the big question is, how long is this gonna last? This whole shabacle?
I don't know if it's permanent, but then right here again it also says that they're in effect about 9 p.m. and then it would be lifted, but I don't know if that was something else.
No, it's about this. He did say it was temporary, and probably just to
test things.
Yeah, and get not really moderation, but just filtering in check or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just the platforms act together in general.
Yeah, I mean, he can do whatever he wants now. It's his company.
Yeah. Apparently, from at least what everyone else is saying, is that, he's driving into the ground.
I swear at one point, didn't he literally say, if I own Twitter someday, I'm just gonna take it down?
He did say that, didn't he?
He probably did, long before he actually bought it, though.
Yeah. Well, self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yep. Why is Twitter down for some users? What did Elon Musk do?
Gee, I wonder what he did.
Hashtag Twitter down was trending Saturday as users apparently ran into newly set limits by Musk. The website downdetector.com showed thousands of users reporting problems assessing Twitter by Saturday afternoon. Users reported seeing error messages that said rate limit exceeded and cannot retrieve tweets error message while scrolling the site. I'm sorry, people, but maybe you just reached your capped limit and the site isn't down. It's just you reached the limit, like it said.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, well, people that aren't willing to learn will never
Uh-oh. But then look at the next paragraph. A U.S. Today journalist on Saturday was served multiple rate limit exceeded errors in the Twitter app after scrolling for a few minutes. It was not immediately clear whether this was the result of the temporary limits or another glitch on the app.
I remember hearing that, like, it didn't take that long to fully, like, max out, quote-unquote, the amount of tweets need to, show the rate limit.
Oh yeah, like 300 for, like, new unverified users.
Yeah,
I could probably do that in, like, 10 minutes. Not
Less
even.
than.
Yeah.
Someone sped run it, and it was, like, most of the time was just signing in. And, like, I think it took, like, 20-something seconds in total.
Wow. Well, yeah, because you could just do that thing on Windows where you just hit the middle thing and then just go down.
Yep.
Just auto scroll. I'm gonna read a little bit more of this. The new viewing restrictions come a day after Musk said that he was taking a temporary emergency measure to prevent people who are not signed into a Twitter account from viewing any tweets. He said the action was also to combat data scraping. This will be unlocked shortly, Musk said Friday. I don't know what Friday that is. Wedbush Securities analyst Daniel Ives questioned the strategy. It's changing the rules of the game with no warning and not a good look for the Twitter platform, he told US Today in an email exchange. Frustration building among users.
Oh, not wrong.
Yeah, if this is like perfect for Instagram to start doing this. Like Twitter is just like setting this, and then Instagram's like, hey, we got unlimited like scrolling here.
I mean, at this point, Twitter's basically just hanging themselves. Like, no real need to amp up competition if, they're Twitter's purposely making these decisions that make it harder to use the platform.
Yeah, but another thing is like, no matter how hard, like they're just like going into a downward spiral, there's still going to be like those hardcore users still using it daily.
Yep. Hence the people that cannot live without it or only really exist on that platform.
Yep. Death scrolling on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. To oblivion.
I think we've covered most of them.
Yeah, I think so. Alright, now
any more
on
comments?
I don't think so.
I don't either. Other than that, we are on our next topic.
Yeah. Welcome to today's edition of Goofy Dreams with Gavin. I'm pretty sure I changed the title a few times, but who cares?
Whatever, same bit.
Same concept.
Not really, no, it's not a bit. Same outline.
Okay, so we start out, and I'm at a house. It's not my house, and it's Halloween night. So it starts where, like, the person who owns the house is, like, apparently is very famous for, like, a yearly Halloween thing that they do that involves, like, basically a scavenger hunt around their place. Mm-hmm. And it was really cool, but also really weird because, like, outside, like, the house looks very small, but when you go in, it's, like, there's at least, like, 10 different rooms that you probably would not fit in, like, even a medium-sized house. Especially in the area where I live. Anyway.
Was it near the area that you lived in your dream?
Yeah. Like, around the block, maybe. Like, I guess, so you know what I'm talking about. It's the route I walk to school, roughly. Or at least walk home from school.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so basically, the scavenger hunt, at least that year, involved a scavenger hunt where you had to find like pieces of a puzzle, and the more we found, like the more we were like entitled to something, whatever that might be. I don't know. Like I said, it's Halloween, so it's probably something like candy related. One of my cousins was there, which is odd because they usually like when like they trick or treated, it's always usually like a neighboring town. And yeah, we were just looking around, like, you know, it's definitely a spooky environment. You know, it's Halloween and all.
Yeah.
I remember being in a backyard with like you know, just like kind of like outdoor stuff, like little kids, like, you know, little like slides and whatnot. I think even like a trampoline too. And I found a good few puzzle pieces. And then after wandering around the house, I managed to find myself in a little arcade. How? I don't know.
The power of dreams.
Uh-huh. And I remember, like, there's, like, little signs like, hey, if you can, like, do good at these arcade games, you get, like, one puzzle piece every time you do. And my sole reaction was, man, I'm not good at arcade games. So I was still just walking around to see if there's anything I could do. Even the stuff I probably could have done, I didn't, because, you know, I did not think I was that good at arcade games. And after that, I kind of just woke up. There was no resolution. I did not get to see the prize at the end. Nothing.
This is kind of like just an extra question, but do you ever just like have those dreams where you dream it and then you wake up and you think that like what happened in your dream is still affecting you now?
Not exactly, but I do have prophetic dreams sometimes.
Same.
Like, I remember I had one where I was watching something, like, on my phone, and there's the TV going on in the background. Me and my mom talking, and, like, I remember, like, very vividly the words she was saying, but I didn't really remember that dream, like, at all, because I swear to God, I thought I was just living a day in my life. And I had that conversation, like, a few months or however long later, and I was just thinking to myself, man, I've heard this before.
Stop repeating yourself, damn it. I heard you in my dreams.
Like, I swear to God, I think I've gone through an entire day of school, like, inside of a dream.
Do you ever have the dreams where you wake up, and then, like, you actually wake up, not like you wake up in your dream, but you're dreaming it, you wake up, but, like, you fall back asleep, and then you continue dreaming about it?
No, but I've woken up from a dream, fell back asleep, and had a completely separate dream that I remember just as vividly.
You got double dream.
Yeah. Oh, that's it for this little segment. And now on to my experience with the Devil May Cry collection.
You should probably tell them why you're talking about this.
Yeah. So basically, for the past week or two, I've been basically playing that game non-stop, aside from maybe a few other games. And yeah, I've only actually played 5, and I really enjoyed it. And I wanted to go back and experience some of the older ones. In fact, the only one I have to play now is 4.
You planning on playing that?
Yeah. If I ever have just I guess quote change, even though it's pretty. I think it's $20. I think for the Ultimate Edition or whatever, Special Edition, or whatever. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, what was I saying?
You were just giving information about why we're talking about this. Now you get to talk about it.
Yeah. Anyway, so I guess just start at the beginning. Devil May Cry 1, which you guys will be getting gameplay of. After Mission 4, I think, I decided to get some gameplay of it.
Do you know what? For this episode, I'll try to purposely have Devil May Cry gameplay only.
Huh. Well, I definitely have enough of it. Yeah. I guess go easy on me. I'm not that good, but you know.
It's basically filler gameplay for the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
For people that are watching on YouTube. ExtraCasual podcast on YouTube.
Nice plug. Yeah, anyway, I do my best, and you'll especially see that when I get to Devil May Cry 3, but more on that later. Yeah. I really liked Devil May Cry 1. It was pretty challenging. Not as hard as Devil May Cry 3. Once again, get to that later. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely very primitive, which, is the first game of the series, which can't really be too hard on it.
Yeah, it's the starting block.
and I guess a little fun fact: Devil May Cry 1 started out as Resident Evil 4 before production changed, and it really shows in like a lot of the design choices, including the godforsaken camera.
Mm-hmm. When I was watching Gavin play, because I usually like sit and like edit and stuff and watch him play games, but when I was watching him play that game, I was like, why does that camera angle like look so familiar? And I was like, oh yeah, Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm. Like, the story was good. Like, I'll definitely say that. The gameplay was very like ahead of its time, I guess, so to speak, because it inspired like a whole like trend after that. Character action hack and slash, like the God of War series that came after Devil May Cry, Bayonetta that came after Devil May Cry.
What's that? The recent one with the guy at the guitar, the Microsoft game.
Hi-Fi Rush?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, like, looking at reviews, because I was just kind of thinking of picking that up. It's like, I remember it being described as a rhythm-based Devil May Cry game. Which, I'm terrible with rhythm, but that's a story for another time.
Immediate drop.
Yeah. Like I said, it's good. Like I said, it's challenging. It was actually pretty, like, creepy, too, because, you know, obviously it was based off of Resident Evil, and that's a well-known horror game until, funnily enough, the fourth game, which then it turned into more of an action series, but that's neither here or there for right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I did have quite a few problems with like the bosses. Like I think ones that you're gonna see me struggle on would probably be Nightmare, the third encounter with a Nightmare. I think the last encounter with Griffon. And maybe like probably some of the tougher enemies, like especially like Nobody, like those guys. Anyway, yeah, I'd say my rating would definitely be like a 7 out of 10, because it is really just that primitive that I can't really judge it too harshly. Yeah. But it does still have some very glaring issues that I think a remake, like a Resident Evil style remake, could really iron out.
Yeah. Just watch. They're gonna make a remake now.
I hope so. I hope they remake the entire original trilogy.
Just put all 5 in one game.
That'd be something. Anyway, oh boy. Devil May Cry 2. Where to start? It's well known to be the worst game in the series. Like, worse than the reboot, which everybody hated. And here's why. It's insanely easy. And I mean insanely. I played the game what's the word? Like the recommended way, or the
natural way, I guess?
No, not the natural.
The intended
what's the
way?
word? No, not even that. That was far from intended.
Meta?
The optimal, yeah, meta. And what it was is, when you get the shotgun, at least as Dante, because there's two characters you can play as. Anyway, you get the shotgun, you upgrade that to full, and then you basically just hold down the X button, or like whatever your shoot button is, and you win. Like, I've never been so bored with a Devil May Cry game, and bored and Devil May Cry do not go together, or one whatsoever.
Well, yeah, because you're supposed to be like comboing enemies and like, you know, not really button spamming, but like strategically like hitting your buttons in a certain way to do combos. But
yeah,
you're just spamming gun the whole entire time.
Yeah, like the combos were so neutered too. Like in Devil May Cry 1, there's like the Stinger, which they drastically neutered the Stinger with like swords. There was only swords, which is very boring. Like there's mostly swords in DMC 1, but they had Ifrit, which was a pair of gauntlets, which, you know, spiced up gameplay a little. The air combos were very awkward because they had like kicks and things, which it was interesting, but like it felt like it interrupted more than actually helping. Well, the level design was very poor. Like, I felt like there's a lot of very missable things that were required. Like, I remember in one of the missions, like, I had to jump through, like, a very specific, like, point, and I was running around for, like 30 minutes, just running around, and I had to look up a guide for it, because I tried jumping to it, and I didn't, like, go into the area, and then there's this other area where you had to, like, escape from an oil rig. You had to, like, go through, like, a vent that was, like, blasted open by, like, a plane.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea you can interact with that. I just thought it was part of the background. And, yeah. And in fact, like I said, there's multiple characters. There's Lucia, which is kind of like the other lead, the other protagonist, I should say, which I don't think I'm willing to go back and play, because, like I said, I only played with Dante, and that was very dull gameplay. The enemies were super. Yeah, the enemies were super easy. Like I said, just gunning. That's it. The only times I actually really died is because the bosses seemed kind of like, I guess, kind of unfair, like in how they, like just how they operated. Like,
they just had like really like unfair moves.
Yeah, like there's one where it's like some like sea banshee or whatever, where it's like tentacles that like will sweep, and even if it feels like even if you dodge like in a very specific way, like, well, you have to dodge in a very specific way to like avoid the attack. But if you like even like a half second off, you will not avoid that attack. Yeah.
So there's like bad hitbox.
Yeah, that dull audio. The secret missions, secret missions have been a staple since the first game, and in the first game, like, they're pretty difficult. You have to do like very specific things, like you have to kill an enemy in a single hit, like by like attacking their weakness.
Mm-hmm.
But in Devil May Cry 2, it's just like defeat a room of enemies, and just use gun. It's that easy.
Yeah, it's just like so easy, it's boring.
Yeah. Hence why I said that I was just bored.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get through as fast as possible just to get through to Devil May Cry 3. I mean, I will say that there were some good things, like there was the introduction of the health bar. Like, there wasn't one in the first game. You couldn't tell how much health that your like basic enemies were at. Which was a good change, I will say. Or a good addition, I should say. The dodge button was set to whatever to B on the Xbox controller, which I thought was also a good change, because holding a direction in A, especially with like some of the more janky camera angles, are that can like change like suddenly. It can be very disorienting, so to speak.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
The camera angles, those were a bit better. The graphics improved too, but that's all the really really good I have to say about it.
Yeah.
The gameplay was dull. The environment, some of them were cool, like the oil rig I talked about. That was a really cool concept, but it feels like they did it in a very poor manner. Because I guess, as one more thing, you had to hit like 3 like orbs, but you couldn't lock onto what you need. You couldn't lock onto the orbs. In fact, what you had to do was you had to make as much progress until the enemies showed up, because no matter what, even if you weren't like actively locking onto those enemies, you would automatically like start attacking in their direction, which you can imagine is not good.
Yeah. What would you rate it?
I'd probably give it a 3.
Yeah.
Out of 10.
I haven't played it, but just hearing what you were saying, I'd probably say like a 4 or a 3.
Yeah. And fortunately for you guys, I think I decided to get no gameplay. But there's also, like, A, because it'd be really boring, and B, whenever I tabbed out, I found this out the hard way, the game will crash. So I couldn't, like...
On the Steam version.
Yeah. Which was, really... really dumb, but
yeah, like at Gavin in Discord, and he wouldn't be able to like do anything unless he wanted to crash his game.
Well, to be fair, there's only one time like I said.
Yeah, luckily you spent like speedrun through all of it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be playing as Lucia. All right, and now for the Holy Grail, Devil May Cry 3. My oh my, what a game that is! It introduced so much for the series that like still resides to this day, and the biggest thing is the style system, where depending on what style you have, the B button on the Xbox controller at least will do something different. You guys will be getting gameplay of Devil May Cry 3 as well once I'm able to get it over to Ashton. I tend to use the Sword Master because, you know, melee combat is really fun in that game. And once again, go easy on me. I'm not that good. You will see me struggle, especially on Nevin. Like, I think I even have it in like the instructions for him editing. Like, cut it this point because the point after is just me and all my attempts at trying to kill Nevin, which I just keep on dying to.
Hey,
I did it eventually. I did it eventually, but yeah. Anyway, where to begin with how good this game is? The story is very good. You know, it's a good old tale of a feud between brothers. You know, and you can't really go wrong with that. And they sure as hell went above and beyond. Melee combat really cool. The bosses, Cerberus, I had a lot of trouble with him too. And unfortunately, you guys are going to be able to get any gameplay of me beating him because I kind of forgot to record. Because I think what I did was I restarted the level so I can get myself a blue orb to be able to take more hits instead of deal more damage because I bought upgrade to the Rebellion. Anyway, the music was really good. Taste the Blood, Divine Hate, Devil's Never Cry, amazing songs. Like
playlist worthy, like you'd put in your playlist?
Devil's Never Cry is actually in my gaming playlist. Because it's so iconic to the Devil May Cry series.
Is it like only in that game, or is it like a reoccurring song?
It's only in 3. It's the credits theme, but it has a remix that was made a while ago that was implemented in the special edition of Devil May Cry 5, and that song is a battle, and the bass theme for Devil's Never Cry is a battle theme in Devil May Cry 5.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I kind of like Easter egged it into like a soundtrack.
Yeah, I guess.
Like you wouldn't notice it unless you've heard it before. Yeah,
basically. The environments were really cool. Like the Tema Negru was such a cool concept, which I think they pulled off exceedingly well. Just this giant demon tower that you had to climb, and then further descend. Like, you know, for story reasons, obviously. The character's really cool. Dante, like, contrary to his self in DMC3, he's cocky, he's, like, smug, he's really funny. And it has a lot of really cool voice lines. For example, one of the crazy combos for Cerberus, it's cool. I just really like that one for some reason. I don't know why.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm. And to top it all off, on like kind of like base gameplay, you know, guns aren't meta, which is good. There's many ways you can play the game.
Everything's balanced.
Yeah, everything's balanced how they should be, and they made some strides in like updating the camera because you can actually like move it little bits in rooms, which is really good.
Yeah,
like it allows for. You know, allows you to see things better, and just stuff like that.
Wait, so in the third game, the camera was still like static.
It was still static, but you had at least some control, which some's always better than none.
Yeah.
My only complaint, and I know it's going to be a very casual thing to say, but in my opinion, I think it was too hard. Like I knew I was getting myself into. Like I said. Like, you guys will see me struggle with, like, a lot of the bosses, like, Virgil, like, all 3 of his fights, I had to use gold orbs, Grayson, the time horse, I died on a few times. Nevin, Cerberus, died on a few times. I think I died on every boss at least once. But that's just how it goes.
Yeah, you gotta learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, I did my best too. Like, I guess a bit of a flaw I have personally is I have really bad pattern recognition.
Yeah, patterns can be hard sometimes though, especially like Dark Souls games and all that.
Yeah,
especially when they're like fast patterns.
Mm-hmm. And like, you guys will probably see me like repeating a few like moves, but just me trying to do crazy combos because you have to button mash at very specific points in a combo to have those moves happen. So yeah, I'm still very rudimentary in my skill, but I don't regret playing that game, not one bit. In fact, like, the challenge never really drove me off. It just really wanted to make me come back and just try to tough it out a bit more. Like, if I was just like that close, or try out a brand new strategy. Like, for example, again, when I was fighting Nevin, I changed from Rebellion and Cerberus to Rebellion and Agni and Rudra, and that actually got me the win. Just changing up my weapons a little bit.
So you weren't really like pushed away from it once you died. You were like more determined to try to do it again.
Yeah, and that's what a hard game should be, like a Dark Souls or Devil May Cry 3 in this case.
Yeah.
And yeah,
you want to feel the satisfaction of actually doing it. Like, it has to be a big reward. Can't just be like, yay, you did it. Next boss. Yeah.
The only thing that kind of peeved me is that right at the end, because in the credits, you kill demons, and if you kill 100 of them, something special happens. I was one demon away from getting that special thing, and then I ran out of time.
Sounds like a skill issue to me.
Yeah, it was. I think I should have been using a different weapon. I was using Rebellion and Cerberus when I think I should have been using like Agni and Rudra. Oh well, I'm not that beat up over it. Besides, it's just a cutscene which you probably just look up. Yeah.
What would you rate it?
I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10.
Ooh. 95.
I think Devil May Cry 5 is better, mostly because things are more well balanced. More characters that diversified gameplay. Things are a lot smoother. You have more control over the camera. For Dante, you can switch styles on the fly. And yeah, like I said, I just think it's a bit smoother, like in many different ways. And that's my analysis over the Devil May Cry HD collection.
It's a pretty good analysis.
Yeah.
We ready for our final topic?
Yeah, we're an hour and 5 minutes in, so if you want to keep it reasonable, we might as well try to go quick. Yeah.
So this is our last topic. Guitar Hero player gets perfect score on Colleen Bollinger's apology. So do you know who this person is, Gavin?
Yeah, I do. I know she's famous for like music. I know that, and recently she's been accused of child grooming, which isn't good.
Well, and she also has her own Netflix show.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Haters, back off. For people to like understand who this person is, she's the main character in that show. I guess
I'm looking at the thumbnail, and you see like Guitar Hero stuff, and it's just like making me lose my mind.
Yeah, so the thumbnail that we're looking at for like the article, the guy's like, he has his webcam up, he's playing Guitar Hero, he's got his guitar out, and then it's the Guitar Hero plane with like all the keys and everything, and like the notes, and then behind it, instead of it being like a rock band or anything, like classic Guitar Hero, he's playing modern Guitar Hero. So it's just the video of her apologizing. And if you haven't seen her apology video, it's really so just bad. Like, she's like, "Oh, I was accused of grooming minors. I'm gonna sing a song about it. That's gonna appeal to my audience."
My legal team said I shouldn't talk about this, but they couldn't say I couldn't sing about it. That's literally a quote. That's literally a quote from it too.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I bet you the song is not even that hard. It's probably just like a really goofy thing to like do.
Yeah, it's probably just so meme worthy.
And
like, I've seen a lot of goofy stuff on Mighty Guitar Hero too.
Mm-hmm. Like all the curse stuff where like it's like note spam or like just like meme songs played in Guitar Hero or like Beat Saber.
Yeah, I guess for me 2 good examples would be Steamed Hams Inc., which is a parody of Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz, which is the steamed ham segment in that one episode of The Simpsons, which is really good.
We should
and Through the Table in the Memes, which is a parody of Through the Fire and the Flames.
We should probably say the name of the person that perfect scored it.
Yeah.
Do you know how to say that name?
Alec, like either a Kai or a Sai. Like, there's usually like a little thing. I don't know. Alec Castillo. Let's just call him Alec Castillo. So shout out to that guy.
He's actually pretty big with like Guitar Hero stuff. I used to watch his videos. I'll probably go back and watch this one now too after reading this. Oh, never mind. It's right here. So once we're done, I'm just gonna click on the article and watch the video. But he's pretty funny. Meme. Let's see. Ballinger's video currently has over 7 million views and 900,000 downvotes. Well, Akai or Alec shredding on the toxic gossip train has over 200,000 views and only 63 downvotes.
it just proves this thing when you start making fun of things that like aren't popular in a very creative way, people are gonna like it.
Yeah, I can't wait for the Beat Saber adaptation of this.
Dude, it's gonna exist. Just give it some time.
I just thought of a really good title for this episode, Gavin.
What?
Our Apology, the Musical.
Oh god.
It fits so perfectly. But other than that, it's just stupid. I don't want to say stupid, that's kind of mean, but interesting way YouTuber makes an apology.
And it ends up making
turns
it
into a
way
meme.
Worse. Because she didn't try to fire back with like any evidence she has. She had to just say, "Hey, I said some dumb stuff, but it's not that bad."
Another thing she says in the song, she's like, the only things I've ever groomed is my 2 Persian cats. Which just like, even that could be taken wrong, you know, like grooming meant like she was like combing them, but like nowadays the internet, that could still be taken like really wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not a groomer. I'm just a loser. Something like that.
Yeah.
There was another apology a while ago. I don't remember her name, but I think she was a TikTok star. So she was accused of like forcing herself onto a guy at a party, and there was like video evidence of it or something.
Oh, Sienna May?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's it. But
yeah, only reason why I know about this is because I watched again Charlie's video about him like reacting to the whole situation.
Mm-hmm. But what she basically did is, after all that came out, like accused of like forcing herself onto somebody at a party and all that, she's like, "Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna like it's like a studio scene. It looks like she's filming like a music video for something where like she's like doing like a choreography like dance, and like that's her apology. Like there's music in the background. She's like somewhere in like an empty like skyscraper building, it looks like, and she's just like dancing in like choreographed ways. It's just so random."
Yeah, and apology via interpreted dance. That's how that whole situation went down.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, the evidence there, she was guilty in this situation. Both she is, but and they didn't really make it much better for themselves with their whole deal.
Yeah, I don't know if she's guilty or not. I don't want to say anything for sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there has been stuff where like she's messaged fans like weird stuff before.
Yeah, in very inappropriate ways. Just leave it at that.
I don't know exactly what she said, but it has to be something bad if she had to make an apology like this. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think we're finished.
Yeah. Give me a sec. I got a text from my sister. Apparently, I owe her $25. Well, dear sister, if you're watching this for whatever reason, I'm broke. So you're gonna have to wait on that money.
But other than that, we are finished. Done with this episode.
Yep.
To be heard another week.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully this comes out on Sunday, not Tuesday.
Yeah.
Do not complain. Do not look at what dates the podcast is uploaded. It is every single Sunday, always. It is never late at all. I guarantee you. That is 100% truth, totally. Yeah,
totally. And if you don't accept it, I have connections to the CIA. Or do I?
You'll never know. That was a joke, FBI.
Yeah, CIA. Whoever's listening in on us, make our podcast. If so, if any government workers are listening to us, could you give us 5 stars, please?
Yep, 5 stars. Rate 5 stars. Everyone, actually, not just FBI agents. Just if you're breathing right now and you're listening to this, go on Spotify, hit that 5 stars, and then tell your grandma to listen to this too. Tell her to rate 5 stars after she listens.
Yeah, this is the most groovy content.
Yep, it's good. That's all I can really say. But other than that, I think we're done. This is probably the 3rd time I've said it.
Yeah.
But I hope you enjoyed this episode. I think this episode was a lot more not generic, like generic us, I guess we could say.
Yeah, more us and less.
It's less on the script.
Stuff. Yeah, that's always good. Let's just show our us more
capabilities, kind of.
Yeah, who we are as people without directly giving away who we are as people.
Yep, you never know.
Hopefully.
But this is Ashton,
and this is Gavin,
and we'll talk to you next week. Bye bye.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.